Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sikich Live. It's been a few weeks since I've been on this live on this Tuesday, so thanks to Ryan Olson for stepping in those few weeks. Really appreciate it. Today's Sikich Live topic is all about artificial intelligence, or as most people call it, AI. And specifically how it relates to your CRM system. So I'm going to bring Matt on in a second, but before we get to that, I of course would be remiss not to mention to like and subscribe so that you get these notifications when Sikich goes live on Tuesdays and Thursdays each week with a new exciting topic about ERP, IT managed services, security, CRM, and so much more. Don't be shy on Sikich Live, as we always say. That's the reason that we are live, is that you can ask us questions right away to us. We're live, we're here, we're ready for your questions. And so if it's something that you want to know right now, please feel free to enter that into the chat. That's why we're here, that's why we're live. So as the internet has become the backbone of modern sales and marketing efforts, CRM has really evolved to capture and categorize this constantly growing stream of signals and data points about prospects, customers, companies. So to talk more about this, we have returning guest Matt Mountain coming to us, partner at Sikich. Thanks for joining us again, Matt. I think this is, what, your 17th time on Sikich Live? You're not sick of me?
No, not sick of you. Not yet.
Not yet is thanks for joining us today. This is a really exciting and interesting topic, right? AI, artificial intelligence. It's the way of the future. It's the way that cloud products are going to work more harmoniously with the seller as well as the marketer in different CRM systems. So let's jump right into it, shall we? Let's provide maybe some examples of AI and how we use that today.
Yeah, it's so interesting because AI is everywhere.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't even, at first everybody was like, I don't want AI. I don't want anything to do with it. I want a real person. But it just becomes more part of your life. And I can't tell you how many times anymore where I've called a phone number because I need help, and due to the vast amount of calls, the wait time is, and it's always getting longer. And using a chat, and I can't, probably half the time I'm chatting with somebody, I'm chatting with technology. I'm not chatting with a person, and they're able to help me. Or when you think about from a marketing standpoint, in terms of based on, I may go out to Amazon and I may search for something, and based upon buying that or not buying that, my marketing will be tailored based upon what I've done. When you think about Netflix, I go out to Netflix when I'm working out or what have you, just to watch a show. And of course, it's got those recommendations for me. Well, those recommendations are based upon other things I may have liked or looked at or watched. 75% of the shows on Netflix that you watch are based on those recommendations. So there's natural language processing. So the ability to go out and to say to a system, I want to see this, and it gives you the answer without having to type it in. Or when you think about credit cards, this is one that's been around for a while, and everybody, well, hopefully not everybody's experienced it, where your card gets shut down. Or you get a notice that there could be a fraudulent charge on your card. Well, that's AI based upon how you've used the card over the years, and then all of a sudden there's a charge that's completely opposite of everything you've used the card for in the past, or different location, or what have you. When you think about field service, and one of the case studies that Salesforce talked about years ago, 4 years ago, was around the jet engine, and how the jet engine can talk back to a call center and tell it that, hey, this specific product isn't operating at 100%, so that decisions can be made automatically without a human intervention to schedule servicing. So, Tesla's got the driving car. And people go, first time I drove it, I was like, I'm not taking my hands off the wheel. It's one of those where you're, and you let go, man, it stays right in the lane. And as it gets close to the car in front of you, it slows down. So that's artificial intelligence, because it's reading signals everywhere and making decisions for you so that you don't have to do it. Now, one of the things, though, about artificial intelligence, though, is you need a lot of data. The more data, the better. The less data is bad, because it can't make good decisions on just a little bit of data. So that's really, some examples of where AI is being used in the marketplace today.
Well, how does it, in CRM, there's specific ways that AI can be used, right? So what are those, and whether that's specific to Salesforce or not, what are the ways that AI is used in CRM?
So let's pretend you're a sales rep, and boom, here's 50 leads. Which one are you going to work on first? Well, AI can tell you, hey, based upon the attributes of people that have bought in the past, and of these 50 leads, which one best match those attributes, and it can prioritize it for you. Or when you think about from a sales opportunity standpoint, and I'm using leads and sales opportunities, they're different, but they're the same. One of the things that we did was we turned on something called Einstein scoring in Salesforce. And it was really fascinating because, it was telling me for every opportunity I have, it would score it. And it would tell me the propensity they're going to buy. And it would tell me why they're going to buy and why they're not going to buy. And what we started to see was a certain product had a low success rate, but maybe a certain geography or a certain industry or what have you had a much higher one. And again, the more you spend time using this, it modifies the model for you. So a certain geography, your best geography might be a 60% hit rate, and over time it might become 80. So those percentages will change. And when I say 60 to 80, 61 to 82, they get very granular in terms of that. Customer service. Customer service is huge now. And most people just want to look it up or chat and don't want to get on the phone because it monopolizes my phone. I can't do something else. Well, when I'm chatting with somebody, I can do two things at once, which is great. One of the things I like is I don't know if it's so much AI, but I think it's really neat, is next best action. So you're talking to somebody, and let's just use banking, for example. They have a credit card and they have a mortgage with you, and they've been in their house for 6 years. Well, as you're talking to them, the next best action might say, talk to them about, are they in the process of looking for a new house? The average person stays in their house, what, 7 years? So let's start talking to them now, where the system will give you data points on some things you can mention in your discussion with them. You know, everything from, you know, in Salesforce, they have something called Einstein Search. And, you know, instead of typing in or looking up my opportunities that could close next month, what if I could speak it and it could understand it and it could translate that and produce the result set for me? Another one is reading emails. So there's now the capability where CRM can read your emails and can give you a tag at the top. So it could read the email and the tag could say not interested, or the tag could say on vacation, or the tag could say call me. And so you can, it can read emails and interpret those and provide you with meaningful information so that you can find information quicker. And so those are just some of the examples, but, you know, AI is not going away. And, you know, are we at 1.0 of AI? I don't even think we're at 1.0. I mean, I think we're at 0.1, because this is going to take a life of its own. And, you know, I envision, as I see more and more, and we do more and more service opportunities on Salesforce, you know, this whole servicing and the chat and the bots and the intelligence on what it can do is just amazing. And we're just getting started.
It's like having your own little personal assistant without having to pay them a salary. That's pretty nice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So you're talking a little bit about the future of AI. Curious where you do see it going. What's coming next for AI and CRM, or, you know, or these high tech applications?
It's interesting. You know, part of me is I'm an engineer, so I'm not a big visionary. I wish I was, because I'd get so far ahead of this thing. I don't know. I can tell you short term, and I'll give you some examples, but long term, there's going to be new markets, new products and services created based on artificial intelligence that aren't even here today. What are they? I don't know. If I knew, I'd be ahead of the curve, right? But, you know, when you think about healthcare, let's just take healthcare. You know, you go in and you get a scan. Well, and the radiologist reads it and the doctor, well, I mean, that's great. But these models are going to be so sophisticated that they're going to be able to see those and potentially even see more than what the doctor can see, and actually predict based upon what the screening says on what the potential outcome could be. You know, think about education. You know, I'm very, I don't know, expressional, you know, I express myself, right? So if I'm in class and I'm doing this or I'm doing this, okay, what if the software could read faces and to say, hey, Mountains doesn't understand this, we need to spend a little bit more time with them, okay? So right now we're relying on the teacher to do it, but if you got 20, 30 kids, or especially nowadays, if some of them are remote on Zoom, going to class, you know, would that benefit them? When you think about manufacturing, I mean, right now, yeah, there's a lot of robotics in manufacturing, but think about robots and people working together and really streamlining what needs to be done based upon what the human does. One of the things that to me is just so fascinating is these self-driving trucks. So when you think about, you know, 53-foot semi, that there are now rules based, the truck driver can only be in the cab or be behind the wheel for X hours per week, per day, what have you. And they're very strict rules with very steep penalties. To equip a truck to be self-driving costs $250,000, $250,000. But that truck now can go from the East Coast to the West Coast in half the time that it can with a human. And that truck, the ability to not only navigate the highway like a Tesla, but stoplights and maneuvering around traffic and other things like that, to me, unbelievable. And they're saying, and they're piloting it right now. And, so you're putting a very expensive computer in this truck in order to manage all that for you. And you talk about AI. I mean, that's major AI in terms of, knowing where the accidents are, getting rerouted and all that. So those are some examples, but gosh, it's going to be really interesting to see what's coming because, again, I just think we're just getting started with AI.
I'm excited to see what Salesforce is going to do too. I think that they are so ahead of the game with Einstein analytics and everything that they've had for so many years. So
yeah,
it's definitely going to be something to look out for, especially from Salesforce, who's so on top of this high tech kind of AI infrastructure for their CRM system. So excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us again, of course, and I'm sure soon. Yeah. If anyone's interested in any more about AI, artificial intelligence, how to set that up in their own Salesforce system, please feel free to reach out. Our address. Our website is right here. Learn more at www.sikich.com/Salesforce. We'd be happy to help out. And once again, feel free to reach out to Matt, myself, or anyone on the Sikich team directly through LinkedIn or the platform that you are streaming this from. Thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see everybody on Thursday. Bye.